Welcome back. Now, before we set up the Chrome node, we need the private IP address of the hub node. So if you go to your home setting, and then you click on Selenium Grid Hub Virtual Machine. If we look a little bit down the page on the right, we've got our private IP address of 10.0.04. We need this to configure our event bus later on in this video. Now, let's get into the Selenium Grid Chrome node VM. We want to go in through Bastion again. Put your details in there and connect and allow. Great, now you can see that we're signed into that VM and we have access to it. Okay, now we will install Docker on the virtual machine, and once we have installed Docker, we'll create a Chrome node container that registers itself with Selenium Hub. So once again, the code for this next section will be put in the description. Have a careful look at the code. There's an area where you have to replace a right angled bracket. You'll see the instructions in there on to do that. YouTube does not allow you to put the right angled bracket in there, so please keep an eye out for that. So we are using the same code that we used for the first VM, and if you need more of a description of what and why we've used, please go back to the first video where we create the VM for the node and you get all the instructions with regards to the separate lines that create the Docker for us. I'll pause while this is loading. Great, the installation was successful. I'll just clear the screen there. Right. Now we're going to pull the image for Node Chrome, Selenium Node Chrome. No, that's taken the old code, the old copy paste, won't be a second. I'll just copy paste the correct line of code. Right, while we wait for this to download, I'll pause. Okay, that's successfully downloaded. Now the next portion of code that we have, it creates a Chrome node container that registers itself with the Selenium Hub. That's our hub on 10.0.04, and it uses ports 442 and 443 for an event bus publisher and event bus host. So we have the publish and subscribe. So it exposes port 5. We also have to expose port 5555 so that the hub can send test sessions to it, and it automatically restarts if the VM reboots, forming part of your distributed Selenium Grid setup. So let's get that done. Okay, that is done. But how do we check that that's done? Well, that involves going back over to our other VM. So I'll just go back to our hub VM, won't be a second. Now we'll connect again via Bastion. I'll put in the details required and connect. Okay, so what we want to do now is to check the status. Won't be 1 second, I'll just get the correct command for this. Okay, so you can see now that we are in fact connected. Now we're connected to 10.0.005. If we go and have a look at our grid node Chrome at the overview page, you'll see that the private IP of that is 10.0.05, So we have successfully connected to that node. Okay, join me in the next session when we'll set up the Firefox node.